Tracy, Marlene, Peter, Shane. Let's make sure the paper's up on here. Timmy, Helen, Kelly, Anthony, Jessa, how you doing, bro? Hiya, Kate, Esther, Mitch. Evening, Brian, Sharon, Keithy, Helen, Claire. Hope you're alright, Tammy. Gaza Crane, Roy, how you doing, brother? AJ, Annette, Anne, Manchester Colin, evening, brother. Andy Billingham, long time no see, brother. Peter James, Nico Hammer, Dazza Taylor. Right, guys, supposed to be me and Nathan tonight, but I've been phoning him. His phone switched off, so he's probably still not very well. So I just got to put up with me on my own again. So just one of them. I'm sure he'll be back as soon as he's better. We want to discuss a few things here, but can't do it if he ain't very well. So get well soon, Nave. One or two updates to give you before I start anything else. One is Operation Victor. Don't know that anybody's seen. Go on to Kane Latham, go on his wall, watch the video that he's done. It's important notice, we are now full at all the homes, having full attendance, and no more can be accepted. This is due to health and safety and fire regulations, etc. Thanks to all of those who have contacted me and given their names. It will be a special day. Watch, listen and read the comments and share. Thank you. That was attached to the live that Kane did the other day, the 31st of October. So Operation Victor next week. All the places are full, so thank you for your help. No need to go anywhere else now. Kane's got the numbers that he needs. So big up to everybody who's helped. You know, we do appreciate it, because, you know, the veterans do need our support. The other one, which is now coming to a close, is Melanie Leahy, Justice for Matthew. I had Melanie on last week, as you know. Needs our help big time, because what they've done, she had 2 weeks left of the petition, but now what they've done, because the Parliament is going to be closing, they've put the deadline, brought it forward to next Thursday. So she's only got till Thursday, guys, and we still need like about 40,000 signatures. So please go on my wall. It's on other people's wall. It's on Tracy Blackwell's wall. It's on most of the Patriots' walls. Go on the walls and please sign the petition for Melanie and get justice. At least get it heard in the Parliament for justice for Matthew, because horrendous what happened to that young man. And it's not, you know, it's not just limited to him. There's, unfortunately, it's not an isolated case. It's getting worse and worse. And the only way we're going to sort it out is do the right thing. And that is get on board with it all and do it for, you know, do it for her. I'm going to play you something now for all to listen. I hope you can see it and hear it. This is something that was sent me. It needs to be heard by everybody. Most of you have probably seen it anyway, but just in case, I thought I would give it a whirl on here, and at least people can see it for themselves. It's the EU, MEP in the EU, telling everybody that how corrupt and how they are stalling on our Brexit. Oh, I see it will play. Bloody thing, marvellous only. When you want these things to play.
That has been designed behind the curtains.
bloody sensitive phone.
By the guys like Mr. Verhofstadt, who comes from Flanders, just like I do. And to some extent also Mr. Barnier, who in the beginning was a well-informed and a well-considered, reasonable guy, but who is also going in little steps going to this strategy of Verhofstadt, which is
and what is this strategy? Sabotage.
Sabotage.
And just explain.
They even publicly voiced their hope that Brexit could be turned in an inverse, in another direction, going back to the Remain camp. And the Remain camp is actively here in this European Parliament, in these hemicycles. They are going to try to find a strategy towards the United Kingdom remaining in the European Union in some way. However,
what gives you that indication? Is it conversations you're having with people here in the European Parliament, or is it?
I'm sorry, but I'm not revealing any secret. It has been here in the European Parliament and also in the Belgian press, in the French press, everywhere outside the United Kingdom. It's quite common to talk about eventually sabotage the Brexit and the Brexit process. So the guys that are on the table now about sufficient progress, etc., are guys you should not trust to respect the vote of the British people.
They would obviously come back and say, look, we just want to ensure that the Brexit divorce commitments in terms of money are made, the obligations towards citizens in both countries, these are issues which need to be resolved sooner rather than later.
Of course.
Where's the tactic in that? That's what I'm trying. Where is this playing?
The tactic is simple: postpone, complicate, turn it into a chaos, and then in the end, in some way, try to change the British politics into another referendum or anything like that. So they are now sabotaging the process, postponing the process, make it more complicated, recomplicate, and turn it into a chaos.
So there you have it, guys. That's from an MEP who has been interviewed on the TV, and he basically said to you there, it's not new news, it's out there. The thing is, our mainstream media are not telling us, but it's all over the rest of Europe what's happening. They're trying to sabotage it. It's well known everywhere else, only here, which proves again what we should all be doing with this mainstream media. Sky, ITV, Channel 5, when the main bulletins come on, switch it off so they've got no views. And when they ain't getting any views, they maybe start to listen to people who be disgruntled. But as long as they keep seeing they've got 10, 20, 12 million people tuning in every time they do the 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock news, they ain't going to do anything. They're never going to report the truth, because we are watching them. What we've got to do when the 6 o'clock news comes on, when 10 o'clock news comes on, put something else on. So they've got no viewing figures. It's the only way you're going to do it with these people, guys, I'm telling you, because they ain't interested, they've not got our interested art at all. What else is there? Oh yeah, this one. It holds up. Trying to get it to load up, guys. My phone's slower today. Right. 9 EU states have signed off. The 9 EU states signed off the Joint Military Unification Force. So 9 member states have already signed it. Initiative is backed by the UK, which will be allowed to participate after Brexit. The key word there is after Brexit. So 9 European states have agreed to establish a European military force for rapid deployment in times of crisis. So in other words, you can fetch your kids at any time. like that. Rapid deployment. Remember that, guys. In times of crisis, an initiative which has won the backing of the UK as it seeks to maintain defence ties after Brexit. Spearheaded by Macron, the joint enterprise will allow national armed forces across Europe to coordinate and react swiftly together. Ministers from France, Germany, Belgium, Britain, Denmark, the Netherlands, Estonia, Spain and Portugal have all signed a letter of intent in Luxembourg on Monday. So you've all been signed up to it, guys. But since the election of its new government, Italy has backtracked on its support. But Rome has not ruled out the country's future involvement. But we certainly have signed it, 100%. So I don't know what your feelings are on that, guys. I know what my feelings are on it. But it's there for everybody to see. If you go to the Guardian, log into the Guardian and it's there. 9 EU states sign off. Already been signed. It's unbelievable, guys, isn't it? You know, and this is what they're doing in the open. They ain't even telling you what they're doing there. We're supposed to be leaving the EU, and yet we're still going to be tied to them by the military. How's that? Leaving the EU. To me, it's the opposite. It's actually putting your cornerstone down to say you're going to remain. Whether or not you've left, you know, on paper. We've got to, like I've said to you, nobody is going to do this. The people have got to do this. Because if it's the people stand by idly and let this happen, then we're finished, guys, as a nation. We truly are. Because once that's signed, once that becomes active, all of you who've got kids who've just left school or whatever, they'll fetch them. They won't hesitate to fetch them if they want them to go Afghanistan or wherever. So you've got two choices. If you love your kids, you've got to start fighting. You've got to start fighting, guys. You've got no choice. I mean, all my kids have grown up. I've got grandkids growing up. They'll be fetched by this European Union. They'll be fetched by the army because we've been signed into it. So if you, like I said, if you've got kids 15, 16, especially lads, you'll get the old tap on the door. We've come for your son. Here's all the correct paperwork. They're coming with us. There'll be nothing you can do about it because you've all sat back and let it happen. That ain't what I want to take my grandkids to have. I know I don't see them as often as I should, but it don't mean I don't think about them up here and care about their future. We've all got busy lives, but you've got to think about others where that's concerned. You've got to think about the kids who are growing up. It's gone back to how it was with the Hitler Youth. That's exactly how it is. Once you become a certain age, the state can take you. And they can, you know, they'll take them at 15, 16, put them straight through the boot camps to the, used to be called national service, and the minute that's finished, they'll be in the zones. Because mark my words, this is being done for a reason. It's not being done to safeguard in case we get attacked. Because who's going to attack us? It's being done because they want a European superstate like America, like Russia. And you're falling for it. Everybody's falling for it. Boris, Everybody thought he was onside. I sort of said, well, you know, benefit of the doubt and all that now. But not now. You can see exactly where he lies and his loyalties. You've got a general election coming up. Imagine we're all on an hamster wheel. I put this on a post the other day. As long as you keep voting the same way, you're never going to get off that hamster wheel. It's going to keep spinning. And you're going to keep getting the same results because you're not changing. You're not changing the result by voting any different. You've got to decide what you want. If you want treason and corruption in the Parliament and to be tied to the EU for the next however many years, crack on. Vote Conservative and Labour. Because then whoever gets in, you're going to be doomed anyway. Because they're both going to keep it in Europe and they're both going to align you to the EU military forces. Whichever way that happens. Or you can vote for your local independent or a bigger party. I mean, people are saying the Brexit party. I'm not political. I don't vote. I don't believe in politics at the moment. It's dead. That's my own opinion. And I won't be voting. Because I won't vote for the treasonous corruptors in that parliament. At all. And politics is dead. Till you can change it. Well, you've got to understand, and I've said this many, many times, guys. All them politicians in that parliament are all bought and paid for. They've all sold the souls already. Every last single one of them have sold the souls. They've not got your interest at heart at all. Sorry. All they're in it for is that line in their own pockets. And they'll sell you down the river every single time. They've done it already. For God's sake, if what's happened in the last 3 years hasn't woken you up to the Parliament, I don't know what will. You had a democratic vote, a fair democratic vote, and they've just gone, you ain't having it, you ain't leaving. That's what they've done, guys. They might put it in different ways, but basically, they've given you the middle finger and said, don't care what you want, don't care what you've voted, it's not in our interest, it's not in the 649 people's interest who's sitting here. So we're not going to let you go. But there's 60 odd million of us, guys. And there's 17.4 million that voted to leave. And I'll say this again one last time to every single one of them 17.4 million. It's time to get off your backsides. Time to enact your rights. Show your distaste. Get yourselves in lawful rebellion. Get your form signed and start distressing the government. Start withholding your taxes, etc. It's not going to be done violently. It can be done lawfully and legally. But you'll hit them in the pocket where it should be hitting them. And it's the only way you're going to get your country back. Because any other way, keep voting Labour and Conservative, not going to get you your country back. It's going to put your father and father into enslavement. You're going to have even more rights taken away from you, more freedoms. But people, you'll listen. You'll do what you want to do. It doesn't matter what the patriots say, what the people who know what they're talking about will say. You will do what you want to do. But all I am saying is, we can only guide you in the right direction. If you don't do it, you've only got yourself to blame when you fall on your own swords. When we all fall on our own swords, we've only got ourselves to blame because we sat back and we did nothing. Well, we're not sitting back and doing nothing. We are getting paperwork ready as we speak to do something, but this paperwork, it's got to be 100%. That's why we've not rushed to just do it in a week, 2 weeks. It's got to be done correctly. You've got to cross all the I's and T's. Dot all the I's and cross all the T's. Because if you don't, one little mistake in a word, they'll have you. That's why it's got to be done 100% correct. Keep looking over, keep looking. And when we've got it 100%, we will be going. And we'll be dealing with these people. But you need to back us. We need the backing of the masses. Because you're going to lose your country, guys. South Africa, what's happening in South Africa is a blueprint to what's going to happen here. And nobody can see it. Everybody keeps saying, oh, them poor South Africans, this, that and the other. But nobody's thinking of the bigger picture, that that's going to come here if you're not careful. And is that what you really want for your children? Guys, because it ain't what I want for mine. I don't know what else I can say to you. I wish I could have a magic wand where I could tap the magic wand and you'd all wake up. Not the people who are watching this, not the patriots who are awake. I'm on about the masses who may be watching this for the first time and think, that sounds like a load of bullshit. Because it's not. I wish I could have a magic wand, just tap you all on the heads so you all wake up from your slumber and watch what's really going on. Because you wouldn't be sitting there if you did. This is very, very serious, what this country's going through now. And the more we let it happen, the more rights they take away, the more freedoms they take away, the more laws they stick on you to tell you you can't do this, you can't do that. And that's what's happening, guys. By not acting, by not getting behind each other. We've got one crack at this under law of rebellion. And we've got to take that. Because if we don't, listen, you can either go down on your knees or you can go out fighting. I know which way I'm going to go. And I hope everybody out there wakes up and does the right thing for your children. Because your children need you at this moment in time. They're going to live in purgatory. They're going to live in corruption and tyranny and enslavement forever. We are the last generation who can sort this problem out. Because the younger ones coming up, 15, 16-year-olds, had already been indoctrinated into that system. It's up to us to take back control and re-educate these people. You ask anybody now, you ask a child now, 15, 16, if he's ever heard of probably even the First World War, Second World War, I've never heard of it. Ask them if they've heard of the Battle of Waterloo or the wiping the history, the wiping our history from right in front of your noses. They're not teaching it in the schools anymore. Because what's happened, you see, they know we've woke up to what's going on. They've caused it all. So now they want to eradicate it as if it never happened and start afresh. That's what they're doing. So in another 100 years, nobody will even know the history of this country. What a great nation we've been. We had an empire that ruled half of the world. They won't even know. Because you won't even be Great Britain anymore. You'll all be European citizens, guys. All this giving you your passport back, it's false. It's a charade to make it look good for now. You've got to wake up, guys. You've got to get this message out to the masses. There's plenty of patriots out there doing the same thing. You've got to share all the videos of all the patriots who are putting the message out on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter. and share it. That's how you can do your part for now. Just to get the message out, to try and wake the people up, because we haven't got very long. I keep saying, we're 1 minute to 12 on the clock. That's how close we are to losing our country, to losing our heritage, our culture, to losing our freedoms, our democracy, our God-given rights. Your born rights. I just wish we could do something. I wish I had the magic wand. I wish I could clone myself 1,000,000 times. And I'd go and show you the way to do it, but I'm one man. Nathan is another man. Tracy Blackwell's one woman. We can't do it on our own. There's other great patriots out there. We can't do it on our own. It's impossible. But what we will do, we'll put our heads above the parapet and we'll try and show you the lights and show you the way of how you've got to do it. But trust me, if we've got the backing, well, with or without the backing, we will put this paperwork in when it's done. And we'll show you again how your constitution works. And then it's down to you guys, again, whether you want to follow us or you don't. But if you don't get behind each other and unify as one and get this country back, our children are not going to have a future. It's as simple as that. And I don't like coming on being doom and gloom. But that's just it. It's not all doom and gloom. Because you've got a fantastic tool in your hands every day when you can click on. It's called your constitution. And the constitution, our laws, our British laws, trump anything that they've got. All their acts and statutes mean nothing compared to our laws. But what's happened is they've put them over the top of our laws. Like I said, Constitution is the underlay. They've come along and put a carpet on the top. Our acts and statutes. And if the carpet, the underlay is still there, what we've got to do is take that carpet up. What we've got to do is take them acts and statutes out the equation and reinstate our own constitution and our own laws and bring it back to how it was in days gone by. And we can do it if we all stick together and stand together as one. Because whether, well, I don't know so much, but to me, whether you're a raging lefty or right wing or in the middle, surely you can see what's going on with the corruption and tyranny, whether you're a lefty or a right wing or in the middle. It shouldn't make any difference what your political stance is. You've got eyes. You should all be uniting for that cause. Because that's what's happening in France. If you look at France, they're all, the left, the right, the middle, they're all uniting. Because they've all seen the tyranny and corruption. It's not about what political side you stand on. It's the fact what's right and what's wrong. But we can do this. We can unite if we want to. I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe it's going to take that knock on the door and for them to remove your children, 15, 16-year-old children, before you will wake up. But by then, it'll be too late. Because your child's gone. And it's now go crying to the courts, etc., etc. Because their acts and statutes at the moment overrule our common law. Because we are allowing it to. It can only be reinstated by a mass vote from the people. In other words, everybody on the streets, let's show them. Let's show them how powerful our constitution is. Let's show them how powerful the people are and how sovereign we are. We want our country back from you. I really want to use some bad language, but I can't. It's not my style. But you know, that's what we've got to start doing, guys. And we will be showing you the way. Because we believe in the Constitution. We know it works. So please, do me a favour. Start uniting. Start talking to each other. Let's sorting this election out for the start. Stop voting for Labour and Conservatives. Let's get rid of the main two parties altogether. And that's, people say to me, but I ain't controlled. Nobody controls me. Look how paranoid we all are, guys. Look how paranoid we all are. Oh, well, I've got to vote Conservative because if I don't, Labour's going to get it. No, they won't. If 17.4 million, which is the majority, all vote, if you all want to vote for a party, say the Brexit party, as long as, I don't know, like I said, I'm not political. But if you all want to vote for the party like the Brexit party, if everybody votes for that party, it's impossible to lose. Because you won the vote with 17.4 million, so you're going to win the vote if 17.4 million vote for a particular party. So you still get the majority, because you've got to show these people in that parliament they can't keep taking the piss out of the people. And that's what they're doing, guys, on a daily basis. They're doing it all the time. And they just keep moving the goalposts. Look at what Boris has done. Boris has sucked you all in, me included for the time, sucked us all in to believe in his bullshit. Then all of a sudden, last minute, we ain't having Brexit. Boris, go and get in a ditch, son, because that's what you said. You'd rather go in a ditch than not leave on the 31st. Well, you know, go and find a big ditch, because that's where you deserve to be. Because you, probably one of the biggest traitors of all, because you've let the people down big style, because they all looked up to you, Boris. They all looked up to you. And they did. You all looked up to him. Me included in the beginning. But it didn't take me long to work him out, and I've been saying it for weeks. But a lot of people was backing him right to the hilt. And it's only normal. Because he was saying and doing all the right things. But I keep telling you all, them people in there are not on your side. They've all got puppet masters. They're always going to do what the puppet masters tell them. It's not a parliament that's run by parliament anymore. It's run by elite puppet masters. So is France, so is Germany, so is Australia, so is New Zealand. They're all run the same way. And so is the media. You've all seen the scripts on the media where it's good evening, 6 o'clock, blah, 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 blah. And then it starts again in Australia. They link it up. And by the time they're finished, there's probably 200 or 300 bloody all saying the same thing at exactly the same time, because they all work from a script. No matter where you are in the world, them news reporters all work from the same script on climate change, everything else. It's not independent. They've all given scripts. And it's the same with the mainstream news. We have got to take over. We have got to take back control of the mainstream media, the TV. Them are the first two you've got to get on your side. And the only way you're going to do that is blank them all. Don't buy the papers, any of them. Don't watch their news bulletins. None of them. Let them sit in front of an empty in a camera and have no audience. Because you should all be getting your information from the proper patriots who know what's going on. Because you ain't going to get it from the mainstream media. All you're going to get is more brainwashing, more bullshit, more everything's all right, everything's rosy in the garden, and it's not. But I can't say any more than I'm saying, guys. I can't be any angrier than I am, and I can't try and get it across to you any better than I can. They're all, every single one of them is against us. People have only got each other. That's all we've got on our side. We've got no journalists on our side, no mainstream media, and certainly no government. If this is going to be done, it's got to be done from the people out. We have got to take back control of the mainstream media, tabloids, and the government. But we've got to do it lawfully. And we can do it. It's simple. Lawful rebellion, start withholding your taxes, and it goes from there. That's where it goes from, guys. But as long as we all believe that little magic box in the corner and keep watching it and keep being brainwashed, things are never going to change. But anyway, we can do this, guys. Trust me. Just please get in touch with Angela Verdon. I'll put the link to her number on the top of here. Get in touch with Angela Verdon for your lawful rebellion, or go on the website. Our Facebook page, Constitutional Movement Worldwide, and the PDF's on there. Print it off yourself, fill it in, and get it sent off. It's that simple. And let's start the fight back. Let's start putting these people back in the places where they should be. Because people power, and only people power, is going to bring this country back. Because everybody else, the police, everybody else, they've all gone. They've all been bought off. They all work. There's no constables anymore. They're all common purpose trained. They're all there to support the government. Government only. That's why when you see anybody on the left and all that who got the same narrative as the government, the police are all there in the yellow vest, short sleeve tops, little tiny hats, laughing and joking, dancing at the gay parades and everything. And then when we go on a march, they're all told up to the nines with all the riot gear on and that, because they want to bash us into submission. You look at the difference between when the Brexiteers go on a march and when anybody else goes on a march. When anybody else goes on a march who supports the government narrative of remaining in Europe, there's hardly any police. And those that are just dressed casual, like normal police. But the minute the Brexiteers go on a walk and a march, peaceful, because we've never been violent on them, we get our heads cracked. If that doesn't tell you you're living in tyranny and corruption, nothing will, guys. But anyway, I've just come on to say a few things, but mainly it was no more people needed for Operation Victor, because we've got enough people now. But thank you all for your help. If you want to go onto his site, onto his page, you'll see the video that he did. I can't play it on here. You won't let me play it. Bloody thing, it's useless, this phone is. Kane Leatham, go on his page. You'll see on his page he's done this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
He's done that video. And it's just telling you he's got enough people now. And then the other one is Melanie Leahy, or Leahy. Her son Matthew needs to get justice, guys. Let's start somewhere. Let's get that petition filled in. She's only got till Thursday. It's on my wall. It's on other Patriots' walls. Please, whoever you follow, at least go and fill that petition in. for Melanie. She still needs about 40,000 as far as I'm aware, and she's only got till Thursday. But we can, again, let's show these people that we can get these, we can unite en masse, and we can do it fast. Let's get this petition signed, let's get it filled in, let's get it signed, and let's get some justice for Matthew. Because like I said, he's not an isolated case. This will bring other people forward. But we need to do it, guys, for the people who are suffering. The girls are being raped on our streets. We're not doing anything. What's happening to this country? Where's our backbone gone, guys? I implore you all, start thinking about the future for your kids. By staying silent, you are complicit in the corruption, in the tyranny, and in everything that goes on. By staying silent, by doing nothing, you are complicit in the treason. You're complicit. So let's not be complicit. Let's all get into lawful rebellion and let's do something. Let's get these scumbags out of there, and we'll do it lawfully and legally. So like I said, if you go on the Constitutional Movement Worldwide page, there's a PDF on there, or contact Angela. I'll put our details above this video. And let's do it, guys. Let's do it for your children, your grandchildren, and your future generations. Let's do it for them. Because we're the last generation that can do it. Because like I said, all them coming up behind us are indoctrinated. They need to be de-doctrinated. You've got to de-brainwash them. But we're the only ones who can do it. We're the last generation to do it, or our country's doomed. But anyway, guys, stay safe. Have a great week at work or whatever you're doing. Sorry Nath wasn't on again tonight, but I still think he must be poorly because he ain't even answered my text. He usually at least answers my text. He hasn't done that today, but stay safe. Have a great week. Here's my hand, here's my heart. We do love every single one of you. We love our vets, we love our serving military. We do love the police, but you've got to start coming back on side to where you should be. You are all committing treason. All you policemen out there, you are all committing treason. You're going against your oaths. Your oaths of office are here to protect the people, not the parliament. Not especially when it's tyrannous and corrupt. You have everybody. You are just as complicit. You should be in lawful rebellion and rebelling against it, same as everybody else. Because just because you're a serving police officer, it doesn't mean you have to stand by and watch tyranny and corruption take place. The oath in Article 61 is above the oath you've took as a police officer, because Article 61, you're defending the realm. Remember that, guys. But anyway, I'll speak to you all soon. Have a great week, and I'll try and get on a bit later on in the week with Nathan. Please sign Melanie's petition, and thanks for listening about Kane. Doesn't need any more for next week. And let's start do the right thing. If you're going to do the right thing by these people, we all stand there, let's do it right. Let's honour them, their memory. Let's remember them properly. And let's do it for them as well. Because they'll all be turning in their graves if they thought we was the way we are now after what they've all died for, or lost limbs for, or been prisoners of war for. It's not on, guys. They'll have died for nothing. They'll have lost limbs for nothing. They'll have been prisoners of war for nothing. It all means nothing. If we're now just going to be a bunch of appeasers and just let them do what they want to do, well, I ain't going to do that. Never. Never in the month of Sundays. My dad was a prisoner of war for 5 years, and I'll never forget growing up, how he suffered, flashbacks, everything else. There's no way I'm going to dishonour his memory. I'll fight till my last breath. until this country's back to normal. So let's get a rallying call out there, guys. Let's do it. Come on. We're British. We've never ever surrendered. Ever. Remember that word. Never ever have we surrendered. And we ain't about to start now. Stay safe, guys. I'll speak to you all soon.